It's nice to see you again.
What's good, man? What's good?
Last we saw each other, we worked on a music video, No
Yeah.
Days Off. So introduce yourself to people who don't know who you are.
My name's Branndon from Greensboro, North Carolina. Um, I've been rapping since middle school.
These niggas gon' know. 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 That's for sure. We the greatest out the borough.
Probably seventh grade. Um, I make music. I try to create fashion styles. Um, I produce videos. I do a lot.
Okay, so I guess take us from the beginning. How was it for you growing up, and when were you introduced to music?
I was introduced to music, I would say, as far as elementary school. Like, my mom had an old MP3 player. It was like one of the real small ones, and she had the dollar headphones, and I'd play her music on her headphones, and I'd listen to it. That's when I first heard music.
And from then, when did you decide that you wanted to actually make music?
I didn't start wanting to make music until I would say 8th grade. And back in elementary school, I wanted to be a football player. So I had a notebook full of trading cards that I collect that had football players on it. And I had an empty page. And I was listening to My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy by Kanye. And I heard a line that was talking about the jungle, and I was like, oh, jungle. And I just started writing, and that's when I first made my first song.
And so, how was it for you growing up, say in middle school and high school? Well, you said 8th grade. How was it for you when you first started getting into music and you were trying to tell your friends that you were interested? Obviously, in that stage, you start to send stuff to your friends, like, hey, check this out. Like, what do you think? How was that when you were trying to kind of pitch it to them?
Yeah, my friends were like, I listen to it because I'm cool with you, but you know, like you a SoundCloud rapper type of dude. So I write a verse. I'd fill up my notebook full of verses, and I go up to them and be like, yo, listen. As soon as I write it, I go up to one of my friends and be like, yo, listen to this. This shit crazy. And I go up to them rapping, and they like, that's tight, that's good. And be like, okay. They'll say nice shit. Like, none of them will ever tell me it's bad. And I be looking at them like, sometimes I look back at the old stuff and I'm like, what? Y'all said this was good?
Just
Yeah.
being a good friend. Being a good friend. So, I'd say, what are some of the artists that influence you? You said you mentioned Kanye. Any other artists that influence you?
Kanye, Tyler the Creator, Andre 3000, and Drake, I would say, biggest influences on my sound.
So I'd say Kanye and Drake, my two personal favorites as well. Any of those two would you love to collaborate with?
I want to collaborate with Tyler so bad, bro. I want that so fucking bad, bro. Hey, Tyler, if you see this, we need to make something happen, bro. No cap. Eventually, I'm gonna link up with him. I'm gonna make something happen, bro. I want to collab with him so bad. Obviously, Kanye, cause that's my idol. So I want to collaborate with him. Maybe he produce an album for me, or he hop on the song with me or something. But Tyler is the biggest. I want to collaborate with him so bad, bro. We could do a collaborative album, Branndon and Tyler. I want to do that so bad, bro.
Well, to my next question, being an artist from North Carolina, do you listen to any artists in North Carolina, and how do you feel about the current state of rap in North Carolina?
I feel like we starting to create a rapture. With the baby bringing out Charlotte, J. Cole with Fayetteville, obviously. People are starting to pay attention to North Carolina, man. Tia Corinne, I would say, she's dope. They got this festival going on. They got the winter in the Carolinas and summer in the Carolinas. First Carolina, I would say, real rap festival. That's just tough, man. We starting to submerge. People are starting to pay attention. I saw an article a couple weeks ago, Rolling Loud talking about North Carolina. I was like, yeah, y'all better start paying attention, man.
Yeah, I feel like North Carolina's been in and out. Like, you know, we've been mentioned here or there. So obviously the baby, I felt like that was a big look.
No days off, no days off.
What keeps you going? What are some inspirations? Do you take inspiration from artists, or do you take inspiration from maybe an athlete or a motivational speaker? Like, where do you get your inspiration from?
I would say, I don't know, like creative bursts, like figuring out a different way to push out my creativity. So like, I got the sketchbook where I write potential pieces for like when I want to drop clothing. I come up with script ideas for like a show or a movie. I'll get on my keyboard and play a couple keys or something like that. Like, I just need to do something random that will like allow me to like use my creative energy. And then once I do that, then it makes me want to do something else relating to that. You know what I'm saying?
So I guess it's safe to say that you have other interests outside of music. You mentioned film. Would that be something that you'd be interested in the future, as far as like putting together, I guess, short films as opposed to music videos?
Yeah. For a future album, I was thinking about doing a film that completely describes how the album is, and I was also thinking about, you know, once I hang up my jersey or whatever, and I retire from the game or whatever, then I could like participate in films, put more black people behind the screen, but not like that social justice. Like I fuck with that shit, but like you don't have to make millions of dollars off black trauma. We can be regular, you know, regular people.
Well, piggybacking on that, do you feel as if in Hollywood, a lot of our movies that are promoted are either drug dealing movies, gangster movies, and slave movies? That's what I feel personally. I feel like those are the only three movies, obviously, to where as we get attention. And me personally, I would like to see more action movies. Obviously, we have a director like Antoine Fuqua. He does action movies, and him and Denzel Washington are a great duo. However, I feel like we still don't get enough of that. We don't get enough of like action movies from, you know, black writers, black directors, or sci-fi or more horror films, kind of like Get Out. Do you feel that way?
I feel like it's ever since George Floyd, it's been a outburst of let's police brutality. Let's put it in movies. Let's make it drama. I don't know the word for it. Like, I don't know. Make it bigger than what it, or make it seem like it's acceptable. Like, make people numb to it, so when it happens, people don't care. And that's been bothering me.
I feel as if in movies where when you have a movie and they portray, obviously, say the black character, he's getting pulled over by a white cop, and then it's like the audience already knows what's about to happen. I don't have a problem with that, because it's the same way the Jews do as far as with their movies. They're constantly reminding you of the atrocities that happen to, you know, their people. They're at the same time, however, they have a lot of different movies, and my issue is they just want to push out slave movies. And it's obviously, yes, you want to keep reminding people of what happened to black people in America, but at the same time, we have so many different artists out there who have so many different ranges. We're into other stuff too, not just gangster movies and slave movies.
Yeah, they want to remind us of slavery, but don't want to give us our 40 acres. Like, that's just crazy to me. Like, if you gonna remind me about slavery, give my family, give my people their 40 acres and their mule. If you gonna keep reminding me of what you did to us.
You see groups like Native Americans, I want to say it was Japanese Americans as well, and they've gotten formal apologies, they've gotten reparations, and black people are the only group that haven't gotten that. And a lot of people feel as if black people don't deserve that. And in my opinion, we've gone through the most, you know, in the history of America. So I myself, I think that's kind of crazy.
White people might say they built this country, but if you hold your dollar bill, it's made out of cotton. That's what we picked as enslaved people. So we built this country. You just put lashes on our back as we built everything that you see around you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
People won't give black people most credit. In my opinion, black people invented almost everything, and a white man just saw a black man created it and just, or a black woman, and just sold it to his people.
Absolutely, they patent it. So if you come back later and say, "Hey, I did that," I mean, there's nothing you can do legally.
So strong, young niggas so raw. All we do is work hard. We take no days off.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, as far as your music, or where do you want to see yourself in the next 5 years?
I want to see myself on my 5th or 6th album, putting out great music, doing shows, doing tours, doing features with big artists, hearing my song played over and over on the radio. But not like to the point where people are like, okay, stop playing this shit. Enough to where people are like, yeah, this is a great song, like keep playing that shit. Like I want it to be like people playing the song, they hear it like once or twice and they calling up the radio like, hey, play that shit again, man. That shit was so hard. So I just, and with like a unity of supporters, like I can call like my extended family, you know, that's where I want to be.
And one question I love to ask artists like yourself, if there were a record label that would give you a call, which would you prefer it be, and what are your thoughts on record deals?
Honestly, I'm not signing anything that has a 360 next to it. So any label that's big, honestly, I really don't even want to sign to like a Universal, Sony. Maybe? I'm thinking more like an independent label. Like, I don't even know a name for one, but maybe like
QC. I mean, they have partnerships.
Not QC. They be. I'm not even going to speak on that. But I need a label that's not under Sony, Universal. Warner. I forgot the other one, but Warner. Yeah. Anybody that's not under them and that won't give in to them if they offer them like 200 million or something like that.
Well, I know the other option that I know Young Dolph, for example, and
completely independent, RIP.
And Young Nudie as well. I know both of them. They sign deals with distribution, like distribution deals. They partner with a distribution company, and maybe for one album. And obviously, they help them as far as give them access to their partners, distribute the album. However, the cut is a lot more fair, and they majority of the time everyone has different deals. However, it doesn't involve losing your masters and giving up a lot of other percentages that you don't really know until after the fact. Someone tells you like, hey, by the way, do you have this or do you have that?
Yeah, I'm definitely try my hardest to keep my royalties because that's what pays my family, my kids, my kids' kids, my kids' kids' kids. So I'm going to try to hold on to as much. And even if I don't have all of that, I'm trying to buy it back once I get my money up. So I will have my masters either way, regardless. I mean, it would be cool to sign to a distribution deal, but I'm just like, if I can do it independent, then I'll do it independent. It's really like I'll do it independent if I have to. I can sign to a distribution deal or I can sign to an independent label. But I don't even want to conversate with the big three if they not gonna give me a big percentage, and if they trying to hit me with a 360. And if they try to offer me their label, if they try to offer me their lawyer, I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm not going for that. Cause I know if they offer you a lawyer, the lawyer is in cahoots with the label, so it's already scandalous. I'm not going for it.
Who are some of your favorite producers out there?
I would say Pierre Bourne, Filthy, he's fire. Hit Boy, he's going crazy with Nas. Kanye, obviously. Who else would I say? Timberland. Them drums, I love his drums, man. My whole thing about my beats. I pick great beats for my songs, and I always have to have my drums thump. If they don't thump, then why am I listening to the song? So if a producer sends me a beat and it don't thump, I already send it back because I'm like, make them drums thump, and then they make them drums thump, and I'm like, yeah, okay, I can hang with this.
Okay. Well, I'd say if you had to make a list, top 5, let's go rappers.
All time? Or
Who would
you
it be?
right now?
I say right now.
I feel like Lil Baby is going so crazy. You have to put him on there. Tyler put out, I would say, album of the year. Lil Durk, I put him on there. They both went crazy this year. I would say J. Cole. I would say J. Cole. All season was tough, man. Damn, I don't know who else, man. That's who I got. That's who I got though.
Okay, so we'll leave an open spot.
You could put me up there in 5 years.
Yeah.
I'll put me in the 5th slot.
That's the empty spot. Yeah, that's the empty spot. That's the empty spot. I'd say top 5 music videos. If you, I don't know if you watch music videos like that, but what would be your top 5 favorite?
I don't like what Travis did, but Sicko Mode was fucking nuts. That video is insane. ASAP Rocky's ASAP Forever, the panning, that shit's hard as fuck. Damn. The Bigger Picture, Lil Baby, that was hard. No Days Off by Branndon, that shit was hard too. It's a crazy video. Lyrical Lemonade, I would say that new one with Ski Mask, Alien Sex, shot on the iPhone. That shit was crazy.
I love Cole Bennett's work. I love Cole Bennett's work. I would say, okay, so we did top 5 rappers, top 5 music videos. How about top 5, in your opinion, most influential right now?
Kanye, Drake, like, you're not even talking about genre or just everywhere?
I'd say overall, just to the culture.
Okay, The Weeknd. Even though he's R&B, but I mean, he's making music. His last album was like 80s influence, but it didn't feel completely 80s. Like he's bringing an old sound and then adding his own fusion to it, and it's different. Bruno and Anderson .Paak's Silk Sonic, that shit was, those two, I would say, together. And then I would say, I don't even know for the last person, I'm not gonna lie.
I would probably add Kanye because of the music. Yeezy brand, he just announced a Yeezy, Gap, and Balenciaga collaboration as well. I read that earlier today. I'd probably put Kanye on there as well.
Yeah, I already had him on there. Kanye, Drake,
Okay.
yeah, Weeknd. I forgot who else I had, but yeah.
Okay. Speaking of Kanye, what are your thoughts on fashion? Do you pay attention to it?
I'm starting to pay attention to it more, but in my head, you can't just rock any designer. Like, some of the designer I be seeing, I'm like, no way you threw that shit on, bro. Just because it's got the name brand on it. And it's crazy to me, like, when I really think about it, like, we really just rocking niggas, you rocking white families' last names, like Dior, Gucci, like, you rocking their family name. Like, it's not
rocking Italians that don't fuck with us.
It's like, literally, like, they'll probably put BLM in the bio or some shit like that, but like, they don't fuck with black people. They get upset when we rock their brands, when we the ones like pushing the culture. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, let me ask you this: if there was one brand that you would put in your music videos, which brand would it be?
Long Live the Youth by Famous Lean. That's just hard. I wore a piece by him on my own Instagram before it got deleted. This shit was hard. Whenever I do shows, I might do or when the mixtape comes out, I might do a collaborative piece with him, make something shake. But yeah, that brand's hard. They going crazy. I fuck with him heavy. That's my guy.
Nice, nice, nice.
Black owned designer. Black
Love it.
owned. That's real. That's real fashion right there.
And the new trend that I'm loving right now is, I guess, switching gears from music to sports. I've been seeing a lot of football players trying to get on with HBCUs as opposed to your traditional, the universities like Big Ten, ACC, all the different conferences. They're opting to go to HBCUs now. What do you think about that trend?
I feel like it's what should have happened 30 years ago. Like, now that athletes are getting paid now that college athletes are rightfully getting paid for their name, they can go to whatever school they want and still make bread. And if you're top 10, top 20, top 30, if you just show out, then you gonna make it to the league regardless.
Facts.
And even if you don't make it to the league, you can go to the G League and ball out regardless. Like, you gonna be straight.
And there's the overseas bag. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted when I was in high school. I wanted to play overseas, and I worked out with a few guys who played overseas as well. Some of them had great contracts. One guy had a $100,000 contract over in Amsterdam to play for a season. So there are options with sports. Well, I'd say basketball, football. I'm not so sure. You can't play. They got the XFL, NFL.
Yeah.
It's a Canadian league as well.
Yeah, I like that they're pushing more athletes to go to HBCUs. There should be, honestly, most people that play sports should go to HBCUs because it just pushes the culture further, and the love you will receive as a black athlete from a black historical university, like, that's another level. Like, them white girls are not going to give you the love and support that the black culture will.
Thank you for coming out, man. It was a great interview. I really, really enjoyed it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate the opportunity, man.
Absolutely. And for the audience, tell them where they can find you at, and tell them where they can check out your music.
You can find my music at www.imadegreatmusic.com. No spaces, no uppercases. All social medias at Branndon, Branndon, no spaces, no underscores. And yeah, man, check me out. We working on something big, man. Follow up, because I'm gonna be dropping soon, and you wanna join a supporter fast, because we finna go crazy.
No fake supporters.
Exactly.
All
You
right,
better join the bandwagon quick, man.